Hi guys, so we're back. This is going to be part 2 of everyday regimens that is currently on right now. So let's get started. Right now we're going to be focusing on eyebrows, eyeshadow, eyeliner, and then for, I believe, the final clip, hopefully, I will be showing you guys how to apply eyelashes, and also, you know, different brands that I've tried, that I've liked, different things to look out for that might be more comfortable for you guys to wear throughout the day, because I sure as heck have noticed which ones are more comfortable and which ones aren't. So first things first, my little it's an eyeliner brush, but I use it for eyebrows. So what I'm going to do is grab my Makeup Academy palette over here, and I'm going to be using like this brownish color right there. Like, I guess it's kind of like a taupey color. Just real simple. Just good enough on the brush. And so what I'm going to be doing is outlining my eyebrow from the bottom over here all the way down to here. And I'm going to be doing that to both. Alright, so there's that one, and I'll do the same thing over on the other one just to keep up. Okay, you guys, so now I'm just going to grab a little bit on my brush, not as much as before, and just do upward motions. And then I'm going to kind of blend up from the bottom, from where that line was, to fill in the rest of my eyebrows. So there's that. Now, oh, I guess I need to finish my other one. So again, just upward motions. Oh, that light. Upward motions from the line, and then using the line to help fill in the rest of the eyebrows. It's okay if your eyebrows get messed up in this process, because what you're going to do is use the brush to kind of thin them back out and not make them so bushily. So, as you can see with my eyebrows, it still looks like this area is really thin, so I'm going to go ahead and get this kind of grayish color on my brush, and I'm just gonna boop, 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 just blot it in there, and then outline the top with it. So there's that, and I'm going to do the same thing over to the other side. And then since this eyebrow's always been higher than that one, I'm going to add a little bit more to it, and I'm going to outline a little bit higher. Just to even it out. So there's that, and let me just make sure that it's all hunky-dory on my end. Okay, perfect. So now, having done that, you guys, we are going to move on to eyeshadow. So what I'm going to do, I find concealer works better for me to use as a primer than the primer that I have. But I haven't tried a bunch of primers, so I wouldn't, you know, take my word that concealer is the best thing to use. So yeah, and it's just, in this palette, there's a bunch of different, you know, different colors and everything, so it doesn't really give me the names of the colors. So if you guys want to reference to it more, I will be posting a picture of all of the everyday regimens that I use. If you want to go on Instagram and then search my name, Kirsty Lynn, like my YouTube page, except no capitals, and there's going to be a period in between. And then that's where I'll be posting all my final look and also all of the products that I use. So if you want to see for sure and get a for sure idea of what colors you're looking at when I do them, feel free to go over and take a look. So there you go. There's that. And it's just a regular concealer brush is what I use for putting on concealer on for primer. So next thing I'm going to pull out, Smashbox Full Exposure. It is just the tiny little sampler palette from Sephora. And this is just, there's like 4 more colors in the actual palette. This was only like 20 bucks at Sephora, and it was like on the little shelf thing as you're checking out. So yeah, and what I'm going to use first is I'm going to mix these 2 colors together, because one without the other, this one's too harsh, and then this one makes me look so pale. So I just kind of mix the 2 together to make sure that I'm getting, you know, what I need. So just gently, with just like a regular eyeshadow brush, and just gently bat it on there. So there we go. So again, I start with white, then go over to the cream, or brownish cream, and then end with white, and it gives me the perfect color that I need, that's not too bright and not too dark, since I'm kind of like in between skin colors right now, for a lack of sun and lack of fake sun. So there's that. That is what I'm going to start with. Now, this is normally a crease brush, but this one is so fluffy that I use it as a, like a shader. It just kind of like, or a blender, there we go, that's what I'm trying to think. So a blender, so after I'm done with the crease, and what I'm going to use for the crease is a regular angled shadow brush. So what I'm going to use next is these 2, but I'm first going to use the matte, and then I'll top it off with the sparkles. And again, this is just my everyday look. You don't have to copy it. If you want to, feel free. I usually go off of either this one or I do the silver side. Sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll add, you know, like a pinky rosy to this. But again, that's also how I'm feeling. This is just a quick, simple look for anybody to accomplish. So what I do is I do an angled down this way. So angled on the lid. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, we're going to go back through with a blender brush. And then I angle it up this way, so you kind of see like a V. But I use this brush because it's thinner, and so my lid itself, or not my lid, but this part of my eye is really, really small. So me using that other brush that I showed you first would just make it so thick that it would be like, okay, what am I doing? Like, am I trying to cover my whole eye with one color kind of thing? Okay, so that is done. Now what we are going to do, guys, is grab the blender brush, And we're just going to gently, I do circular motions. I find it works best for me. Up here, I'll do straight, just because, you know, you guys get that annoying, like, bump, like, where it kind of, it looks like the brush skipped over pieces, and then you have random little, like, darker lines or whatever. So I gently just brush it back this way, so I don't have to worry about those, because I get those every time I do my makeup. I don't know about you guys, but it sure as heck happens to me. So again, you can go all the way across, all the way to corner. You can stop in the middle and just brush it back. You can do whatever your desired look is going to be. So then there is that. It's all blended in. It's, you know, working out nicely. So then I'm going to do my brown, my pretty little sparkly brown. And this is also going to darken up my crease area. So again, just kind of like circular motions, and always start with the bottom and work your way up. I find it's easier to control better whenever you work from down here and work your way up. So there's that. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other eye. And then depending on how dark you want it compared to how light you want it will also depend on how much you put on your brush. For me, since it's so dark over where I live, I do it a little bit darker just because I'd rather, if I'm wearing makeup, I'd rather people be able to see that I'm wearing makeup versus them not being able to see that I'm wearing makeup. Feel me, you guys? Okay. So there is that, all pretty and sparkly. So then after all of that is done, I'm going to do my little corner shade. Now, I usually use this one, which is just like a pretty, like, it's more cream, like peachy cream in the actual palette itself. But I think I'm going to mix it with this one as well, just a little bit. Just to give me, and I'm going to do like little crescent motions here. Little moon motions is what we'll call it. So there's that, and I'm just going to kind of pat along here too, because, so I'm going to start with this one and then end with that one on my brush. Because you got to think what's going to go on your face first, which is what's going to turn up at the end. So the more subtle you want it, end with the more subtler one. The more vibrant you want to end with the, I guess it's start, never mind. Switch that whole thing. The more subtle you want it, start with the vibrant one. The more vibrant one you want, start with the subtle one. So then there is that, you guys. I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't have the